Hello, everyone. Welcome to Patrik Barfi Show. Today, we're going to talk about a question that came in a couple of days ago. Actually, I was expecting this kind of question. And this is a question from a brother who lives in Ghana. And I want us to go through this question. I think it might help some of us that also, live outside Africa also. So let me see. The question says, I have a degree. Actually, this is how it is. What it is the brother, heard me saying, if uh, it doesn't matter what country you are, he wants to learn the system that we are learning, or he wants to try to follow the process. And he heard me saying, it doesn't matter what country you are, just follow the system, and the system will help you. So he said he wants to follow the system, but here is the situation where he doesn't have a job. So what can he do? So they says, I have a degree, but I can't find a job. What should I do? The second, there's another question. It's almost the same way. Let me bring that up also. That also say, hey, I have a master's degree and I can't find a job. So it kind of like almost the same question. Yeah. Because the first one didn't tell me if you got a master's degree or whatever degree it is, a PhD or first degree, or so it's the same thing. So I want us to look into this, discuss this, and see how it can help us also. So I have a degree, but I can't find a job. What should I do? Um, I will do this. I will start by quoting what Bill Gates said. Bill Gates said, "If you are born poor, it's not your mistake, but if you die poor, it's your mistake." Meaning, you can't choose your family, but you can choose where you want to be buried. Or meaning, even if you are born into a poor family, you can work your way out of it. And this is very, very profound. Very profound. How do you do that? You know, and I believe Bill Gates is right. And let me explain. When you look at the system, the educational system that we all go through, meaning the process, we have different kind of education, right? Different kind. We have apprenticeship where, let's say, even somebody's even got a store. You want to be a store owner, selling stuff. You just sit there, gain experience. That is education too. You learning something. So it's education too. And we have apprenticeship whereby, combination of more practical stuff like, mechanic or electrician, whereby they do a little bit of book work and also more practical thing. And we also have this formal education where most of us went through that process, from kindergarten, then to elementary school, to maybe junior high, or maybe JSS, then maybe senior high or high school, then first degree, master's, PhD, and all that. Most of us, about 90%, we went through that process, that kind of education. So anytime we talk about education, all of us, our mind goes to that process, but they are different kinds. So let me focus on that side. That process, in a period of 1880 and 1925, that process, let's say that kind of education was encouraged by John D. Rockefeller, right? John D. Rockefeller and the General Educational Board of United States. And the whole idea was they encouraged vocationalism, right? And at that time, his whole idea was he had companies, he had manufacturing companies and all that, and wanted people to work for that companies. And it wasn't him alone. So he put more money in there to be able to encourage those kind of education, which was to, at that time too, there was more immigration coming in into United States, and most people were very poor. So his idea was to be able to educate them, uh, you know, encourage those vocationalism so that they can have occupation, you know. So that was the whole idea. So let me see if I can put it on here. Let me see if I have the how that happened. See, so he said, John D. Rockefeller and General Educational Board encouraged vocationalism education during the 1980s, 80 and during the 1880 and 1925. That's the progressive era. And it goes on to say that, let me see if I will have that. Uh, it goes on to say, um, It goes on to say that Rockefeller believes that the best education for poor youth was with vocational, presumably so that they would be able to maintain occupation in their adult. So the whole idea was to be able to, like, I'm helping the poor, trying to educate them and all that. Before that period, there were few programs like accounting, law, then medicine. So they brought in that, and you see when you look at it to J.C. Penney and I think Kennedy, all those they were the people that were they made America. They put more people in there to be able to for them to come work the job. So the whole idea was for you to come out to work a job, and when you work the job, so he didn't have the idea for um, the whole thing was for you to come work a job. And how did I know that? Um, because of one of his quote. It tells you exactly why he was promoting that, right? Let me see one of his quotes here. I put it on here. It says, I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers. That's John D. Rockefeller. So he didn't want, people with innovation thinking and all those, critical thinking. So on that side, the critical thinking, innovation, create wasn't put in that side, right? And when you look at that system, that was the same system that was brought to us in Africa. The same system. So the whole idea was for you to not be, not the critical thinking and all that, but to be, go work a job when you're done. But after a while, the West realized that they have to, bring in those innovative and critical thinking and all that. So they added that to it. But in Africa, we didn't. We're still going through that old process. So if you've gone through that process, it's not about critical thinking when we school. And even here, or let's say the West, that even put it in and all these innovation in, even people still have issues when they come out of school. Their mind is to go look for a job, 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 job. And the same thing got to happen when you're Africa too, when you're done, because that's how the whole system is. You have to go look for a job, either to work for the government or to work for, individual citizens that have, created jobs. And the good thing about the West is they have jobs. When they come out, they have something doing. Even if you don't do exactly what you were taught in school or the program that you want to do, you might have something to do. Actually, when you look at it, about 28% of the population do exactly what they went to school for. So that is another issue. But at least you have something to do. But when you go to Africa, the system, but we don't. The system was to come get a job, and we don't have the job. So what do you do? And it becomes an issue. So when you're done with school and when you're there looking for a job and you can't find it, then you can see that your future is not there. Then you start looking for where your future, where you can get hope and opportunities. That's where most people leave Africa to go to the West to look for because of that system. And even if you didn't go to school, there are no jobs that can get you somewhere. So there's no hope. So the reason why I'm trying to bring attention to this is the system we went through, even though the other part that brought the same thing to us, they have revised it and put innovation and all that. We don't have that. We still have the old system. So when you're out of school, you're looking for a job and there are no jobs. So what do? Are you going to sit and wait for someone to get you a job? You know, the idea was uh, we all have a notion, especially when it comes to Africa, that the government got to open jobs. The government, even the ones we're learning from, the government doesn't really open jobs, or the government don't do that. What it is they make it easy for citizens to be able to open up jobs so that they can employ people. They make the economy so conducive to uh, small businesses and all that. It's easy to get a job. It's easy to open up jobs and all that so that people can get businesses, so that people can get jobs. But our people or our leaders are not doing it. So we can't just sit down and watch them. So what it is we have to learn our system, because if you haven't got the opportunity to go out to be able to, look for that greener pasture that people have had opportunity and you're still there, you cannot still sit there and wait, because it's tough. You have to pay your bills. And how are you going to do that? The good thing is every problem you see out there, every problem you see is opportunity or it's money. But because we don't have these critical thinking or innovation, we think we don't think outside what we were taught. See, so how do you start it? What you can do is you have to start something, because you can't just sit there and go through this painful process where you can pay your bills, you are hungry, your family is hungry. You know, it's a tough process, but you have to start something. And I know this is where people might disagree with me, or where people might think, oh, you're saying nonsense or that. You got to, at this point, you got to put whatever degree you have somewhere, because it's not going to help you because you don't have a job for it. So you have to look around you. Any problem you see, I'll give example. You live in a community, and the whole community, there's nobody selling maybe, water. There's nobody selling water over there. What do? You can start selling that. Either you have two, you sell it, go get another one, three, and start it. It doesn't matter what degree you have to put it somewhere, because at this point you are hungry and you cannot wait. You see, that's our problem. What it is we're still waiting for someone to give us a job. The jobs aren't coming. You see, these politicians, they are not for you, they are for their pocket. But if you can start doing something, 3 years, 2 years, 4, 5 years, then you say you're going somewhere, and the people that were laughing at you, I know you'll be going to be laughed at. You have masters, and what are you doing? You're selling Gary? Oh, they will be laughing at you. But at that 4, 5 years, you'll be way on top, and these people will still not have jobs. So at this point, that's what we have to do. We have to put this aside, whatever it is aside, and start something, because that's our system. We have so many people. They have uh, they have land somewhere, their grandparents, their uncles, but yet we sit down and say, hey, there are no jobs. Yes, it is true, there are no jobs, but what it is you got to feed your family. So you have to look for those things. And if you put those things aside and go use the skill that you learn at the universities, at the polytechnics and all that, you will see that is going to help you. At this point, that is what you have to do. So my brother that asked that question, if you do not have anything, you are not getting the jobs. They are not there. What do? You can't sit. Look for something. Look for something. Look, and it's going to get you there. Okay, there are some folks also that they've already got the plan. I want to open a poultry farm. I want to do this. I want to do this. But I'm looking for capital. The capital aren't coming. You are the capital. You are the capital. You see, this is where our psychology of money comes in. You have to start thinking different way of money, how to make money. This way, so the capital is you. What do I mean by that? You start from what you have. I think it's Washington that said that. Let me see if I have it. I put it here. It says start from where you are with what you have and make something out of it and never be satisfied. Yeah, you start from what you have at that particular time. Meaning, if I have Ghana or I have $20 and I want to start selling pure water and it can give me 3, I start from there. Don't look at what people will say. Don't think about what people will say. That will not that won't feed you. Do not sit there. You start from there, you buy 3. And when you do that, you have to be very truthful. When you get some, you can go, you sell first one, 3. You go back, you buy 5. You can tell the person, hey, this is what I'm doing. Can you add 5 more? Then they will do that. There are some people, they start something, is going well for them. Then they get credit on it and they change their phone numbers. They go get money from their friend, they change their phone numbers. They think they are smart. Then after 5, 10 years, they are nowhere. Or they are crumpled down, they can't do anything, and they think somebody is somewhere putting a curse or something on them. No, you are the capital. There's nothing greater capital than your character. You have to be truthful. And you think people are not watching. When you're doing that, people are watching. So in our system where you go get a loan for 40% interest, 30%, when you start doing that and being truthful, you start getting those things for free. A friend will give you money. Hey, they know how you are. That's your character. You know you're going to bring it. So nobody is bringing you capital. The capital is you. So you start from what you have at that time. If you can buy 2 and sell it. You go back and buy 3 and sell it, 4 and sell it. That is how you started. You see, so many times when we look at this, when we see, oh, somebody just come up, start, oh, this person is doing good and all that, we think it just started, right? We can all testify to some of the names that you know in Ghana. We know one big one, like Despite. It didn't just start from there. He started selling for I think it was inner dress or something, vest and all that. That's how he started. And look at him now. And it didn't start now. That was like 30 years back. And that's what we see. Everyone want to be rich, but we don't want to go through the process. That is the process of being rich. You have to be resilient. You have to be tough. Because especially when we're on the other side where we've been taught to go look for a job and the job is not coming. You can't sit and you say there's no job. No. The last time I heard, we were importing cassava, and yet we have people that have gone through doing a great business and saying there are no jobs. I know I know I'm going to get a hit for this, because people cannot comprehend why they have a degree and go do that. But what it is the jobs aren't coming. The jobs aren't coming. What are you going to do? You're going to sit till you die? No, go look for jobs. Do something. And when you start doing something, you see things are going to change. Your life is going to change. And don't look for capital somewhere. The capital is you. You start from what you have at that time. Start from where you are. So let's say if you want to open a poultry farm, your money can buy you just 2. Go buy 2 and start it. By the time you realize you have 3, 4, 5, then it's going. Let me talk a little bit about those that are also they have jobs, all right, but their job, the pay the pay is not sufficient to be able to cater for their needs, and they are still struggling. Look, the people that you see that are looking for greener pasture, that are outside, they do the same thing. If things are not working, they don't sit. They have a PhD, they have masters, They do extra that. They're doing deliveries after their main work. They do all those things to be able to support them to do whatever. Look, you hear, they call you, hey, somebody need money at home. Look, they have money that is exactly doing exactly what they want to do, paying their bills and everything. They don't have much. What they do, we have to get out there to make more money. And what do we do? Either you do something, delivery, or put extra work and all that. So this is not new. So you can do that. What it is people, you dead, the things are not working, the money is not sufficient, and you sit down and complain. You see, talk doesn't change anything. Action does. Go out there and look for something after your day job. That's what we say here. My day job, you go do extra. You can do Uber, you can do Bolt, whatever, and put it. Oh no, I have degree, I can't do. No, don't worry about what people will say, because what it is when whilst you're doing it, you get focused, especially when you're doing something you hate. You want to do it and do it quick and get out of it. By the time you realize things are changing, then you start saving. Then you go do whatever your plan is, whatever your dream is, whatever that is what you have to do. Don't sit. The good thing is these days you can pick up a phone and do so many things. If you know how to cook, hey, pick up a phone, put commercials on there and do it. Don't sit and complain. It's not going to change. You have to take action before you change, right? So my brother that you're talking about, you have you're looking for a job. Like you said, I don't know how many years you've been looking for it, but what I can tell is, if anybody tells you there are no jobs in Ghana, they are lying. You have jobs around you. Anything you see around you, any complaint, any whatever, what it is any problem you see, those are jobs. Look at your area. Look at the problems. Hey, look at your area. There are, rubbish everywhere. People throwing rubbish. You can start doing, hey, I want to collect all this rubbish. People pay you for the things you do. So look around you. Don't forget about, you see, the degree that we go, acquire, that degree doesn't mean anything. The skill and the knowledge that we went through, the process, the experience that we went through, use that experience. The degree is just the paper they give into you. And if you are suffering, don't sit there. Use that degree, use that skill that you acquired to be able to do something. Do not sit. Sometimes it's amazing how people complain and complain and complain, and nothing is coming. Like I said, action does. When you talk, no action, that's the definition. And you're doing the same thing. Einstein said that's the definition of what? Insanity. So we will complain. There are some people who will complain and complain and complain. And whilst you're doing this, you get away from people that will complain and complain and complain. So you got to do something, because what it is the jobs aren't coming. You see, our system is different. So start to learn our system, and I recommend this guy for you, my brother, Kobran Obindako. He's doing a phenomenal job. He's changing the youth of Africa. He's giving them skills, guidelines that they can use to be able to change their lives. He's preaching every day. His name is Kobran Obindako. Look for him. He got so many things on YouTube. Look for him and look for his materials. He got books and all that. Learn our system. How you be able to make money in our system. We go to school, we learn about capital venture and all that. You go get loans for all these capital venture and it's 40%, 30%. How are you going to do that? But we have a different system that you can load. He's telling people, he's teaching people. So learn that skill, learn it from him. Go online, go to YouTube and see. He has so many materials or so many YouTube that it can help you to be able to do that. So my brother, I will recommend Obindako for you. Look for Obindako, YouTube and Facebook. You will get him there. Yeah, but do not sit, because nothing is going to change if you sit. If you talk, complain, I can guarantee you right now, look around you, you will see some problem. People will pay you for you solve. And all of us, we always got problem. If you solve their problem, it doesn't matter what it is. Put the degree somewhere, because at this point, you don't have a job. But starting something can even help you to be able to get a job. So that is the reason, that's the system that we're still in. We have not been able to put back the innovation, the creative, the critical thinking in there. We're still going through the same old process that John D. Rockefeller, encouraged or proposed, that They started, but the West, like I said, they've been able to do that and gone away with that. And now you see them now, they've been able to do that. So now even at workplace and all that, you see there are more innovation, more critical thinking coming in. But we have, so our system is different. Look for our system, look and learn something from our system. I can guarantee you, if you do that, things are going to change. Your life is going to change. But what it is we can't go past, I have a degree, I have a master's, I have a PhD, so I can do it. But what it is if you're sitting there, you're hungry, and you're doing this honest to the service to your family, especially you can feed your family. Don't do that. Look around you. There are jobs everywhere. There are jobs everywhere because that's our system. Farming, we have land. I know, even if you don't have your uncle, somebody might have something acres over there. Start something on it. Why? Because you're sitting there, you're not doing anything. And when you're not doing anything, nothing is going to come, right? So that will at least put something on the table for you, like at least food. So um, this is what I have for you, my brother. Uh, Try to do something. Try. I know you might say, what can I do? But when you start thinking, passing what you were taught in school, start thinking that how can I get how can I get something to do? How can I earn something? How can I earn money? Then you see that things will start to change. You think that some ideas are going to start coming into your mind, and you put it into practice. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, especially when you start in business and all that, you will fail. But when you fail, it's not like you failed, but it's a process, it's a learning process. Yes, you fall, you get up and you start, go do something. And I think it's going to work for you. Um, Also, I want to say thank you to everyone that called in when this guy was um, doing all sort of things. Usually I don't put energy in those things. So that's why I didn't say anything. But I think I see that I have to address that. So thank you all for calling and all the ideas that you brought. The whole consent, when I look at it, the whole consensus was like, hey, why don't you control it? Don't let anybody else, be able to post. But that's not the whole idea. The whole about finance, we need to ask questions. So I just want to make sure we ask this, but we have to stick to what the purpose of what we are doing here. The whole idea is about finances. We all love God, we all love our people and all that, but we have different platforms we can do that. The whole idea of this platform was to be able to talk about our finances. And I made it very clear from the beginning that this is what we're going to do. So, like I said, I don't put energy on those things. So everybody just forget about it and let's continue to learn. About the question too, if you have something to say, I think you can also post something. But to me, I think there are jobs. We have to look around it, and it's not going to be easy. But if you're really, really serious, want to do something, I think you will be able to do it. So, my brother, get up, look around you. There might be something that you can do, even if it's pure water. Start selling it, and your life is not going to be the same. It's going to change. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It won't. It won't. If you ask people that have own businesses, they failed so many times. And if you ask them, they didn't just start. All the big names that we hear, Amazon started somewhere as far back as 90s, but we just heard Amazon. So we think it's just started. No, they've been there for so long. Microsoft, they all started after a while before, they were there. Steve Jobs and all that. That's exactly what they did. Even when you look at all these people, most of them, they didn't even have a college degree. They started doing this before they went back to school. So that alone, so people that also don't have a degree or something, don't let this tell you that, oh, because of I don't have a degree and all that, all you got to do is start doing something. I want to share something with you. Because what it is we live in this world that we have laws that govern us. We have laws that govern us. And these laws were created by uh, our creator. And what it is if you don't follow the laws, it will not um, you won't be able to win. And we have laws for everything. We have laws for success. We have laws for everything. So I want to share with you a law of compensation, the law of compensation. And if you follow it, it's going to be successful for you. Okay, let me see here. The law of compensation say what? It said the law of compensation state that what you do affects what you get. In other words, you get what you give. Reality is what you think about. So everything that you give. But Prata made it very clear, and that's what most people use. It says the law of compensation. That's what it says. It simply says they have three major ones: the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty there is in replacing you, right? Remember, he didn't say the school you went, right? He didn't say that. He didn't say the degree you have. It says what? The law of compensation is the need for what you do. Most of the time, the need for what we do is already there. We just have to improve. Somebody have already created something. And if you also can create something, that is fine. The second thing is the ability to do it. That means you have to be very good at it. So if you're selling Gary, make sure the Gary, you are good at selling that. If you're selling pure water, make sure you are good at that. And look at the third one, say the difficulty there is in replacing you. Even if you're working at a job, make sure you're so good that you can be replaced. I know everybody is not is replaceable, but there are some people when they are not there, the work stops. You have to be very good, and when you are very good at it, it doesn't matter what you do, you will win. So let's go through it again. It says the law of compensation. Like I said, there's laws for everything. You see, some of the laws we don't see physically. We see few laws that we see physically, so we think those are no. And the law works everywhere. It's the same everywhere. It works in China, it works in the US, it works in Africa, it works in Ghana. Everywhere is the same. It's like one of the laws is the air we breathe. Yeah, stop breathing and see what happens. It doesn't matter where you are. The consequences are going to come. You see the consequence. Yes, another law is that is very common is gravity. That says anything that goes to the center of the world goes down, right? So it doesn't matter where you are. If you go up, go all the way about 2-3 feet, or stand on a story building, you throw yourself, you're gonna come down. That's a law. It doesn't matter what it is. So those are some of the laws. So the same here. If you want to be successful, you have to look at financially, you have to look at compensation. The law of compensation is what? The need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty of it. So it doesn't matter. That means it doesn't matter what you do. If you be good at it, and if you're so good, it can't change your life. It can't change it if you go through this. So the need for what you do, the ability to do it, and the difficulty. You see, the first one, the first one usually take care of the second one, right? And the last one is where the whole thing is. So you have to be so good that you can be replaced. So this is what I have for you, brother, and everyone that is also listening. The same apply. It doesn't mean it's done alone. There are some people here, they also think the same way, or there are some people in the West, they've been able to cross back, saying they're looking for greener pastures, but they still go through the same process. And yet, if your money it's not sufficient, hey, do something about it, and it's going to work. Like I said, I might take heat for this because what it is in our culture, not in our culture alone, as the whole world, you can't tell somebody with a degree saying, "Hey, go do something different." So yeah, I know I might get hit for, but I think it's about time we tell the truth. So I'll leave here. I'll come next time, and we're gonna talk about the topic of the week, which is saving for down payment for a house. See you. Make sure you spend wisely, you save intentionally, and give. Peace. Your boy Patrik Barfi.